The Rise of Mandhathu, Lanka's Forgotten Genius. Chapter 20, Ashes and Oaths. The skies over Lanka no longer held the stars. A dense veil of smoke, laced with glowing embers, drifted over the city like a mourning shroud. The capital trembled not from enemy siege, but from something worse, internal fracture. Lanterns swung from broken arches. Market stalls burned in alleyways. Loyalists clashed with defectors in the shadows of the golden towers, shouting names, Ravanas, Viramitras, and Mandhathus. Mandhathu moved through the remains of the council wing, his footsteps quiet among shattered glass and fallen banners. His gauntlet's relic glowed faintly, not in power but in grief. This was not the Lanka he swore to protect. "Sir," said a soldier limping toward him, blood streaking his armor. Another outpost turned. The eastern shrine is lost. Behind him Nimya arrived, her braids singed, her expression grim. "We found the source. The device Viramitra's building is more than a conduit. It's fusing with Lanka's soul, the ley lines, the harmonic core beneath the city." Mandhathu didn't speak for a long moment. Then, quietly, "He's making the axis bleed into the land." Later, Mandhathu stood before Ravana's private sanctum. The heavy doors, usually sealed by spell and sentinel, swung open without a word. Inside, Ravana sat alone, clad in white meditation silks, no crown upon his brow. The old king's eyes shimmered with both fire and finality. "You came," Ravana said. "I had to." The silence between them was warm, the kind only forged through trials. "I once told you the orb could never save you," Ravana said, rising slowly. "What I did not say is that it could still choose you, not as a warrior, as a guardian." He stepped forward and handed Mandhathu a scroll, sealed in wax bearing the crest of an anvil in flame. "Your father wrote this," Ravana said, "the night before he vanished into the Axis vault." Mandhathu took the scroll with reverent hands. "I've guided Lanka through peace and war, but what comes next must come from new hands." Mandhathu's voice cracked. "Will I see you again?" Ravana only smiled, turned toward the fire altar, and spoke a single word, "Ashes." And then he was gone. The chamber empty but for Mandhathu and the scroll. The team, Mandhathu, Nimya, Kalan, and Suryani, descended through a tunnel not marked on any map. The relic led the way, humming in warning. Below the palace the world twisted. Corridors flickered between ages, one moment whole, the next in ruin. Statues moved without motion. Walls bled symbols from futures that never were. "Kalan, stay focused," Suryani warned. But Kalan was faltering. He paused before a flickering mural, one that showed him clad in crimson, standing beside Viramitra. "What is this?" he whispered. "A fracture," Nimya said. "A lie the Axis is feeding your spirit. Don't look too long." At the tunnel's heart they found it. A second Axis, malformed, pulsing like a wounded god, embedded in an obsidian altar. The air rippled. Time slowed. Mandhathu stepped forward, knees buckling under the weight of possibility. "It's unfinished," he whispered, "but it's already bleeding into our realm." Back in the high forge tower, lit only by braziers and oil lamps, the four stood in a circle. "This cannot be a mission," Mandhathu said. "It must be a vow, no matter the cost." Nimya unwrapped a satchel and revealed 4 iron rings, forged from the same metal as Mandhathu's gauntlet. "One for each of us," she said. "If one falls, the others continue, until the Axis dies." Kalan took his. "I'll admit something. I once envied Viramitra. I thought he saw deeper. But he sees only control. I see choice." Suryani closed her eyes. "I was trained to interpret harmony in the threads of fate, and every path now leads through us." Mandhathu slid his ring on last. "No more waiting. No more symbols. We end this, not to save the past, but to earn the right to build a future." Their rings glowed, bound in silent oath. Dawn broke over a bleeding city. Mandhathu climbed the outer wall of the palace, now half collapsed but still proud. Below, the courtyard was filled. Citizens, soldiers, survivors. Some bowed heads. Some held weapons. All carried questions. He stepped to the ledge, raising his voice above the murmurs. "You know me as a weapon," he began, "as a relic bearer, a craftsman of Ravana's court. But today I speak only as a son of Lanka. He looked at them, truly looked. We are not a throne. We are not a crown. We are not even this palace. We are us. And if we give in to fear, to old gods and broken prophets, we will lose not just our city, but our soul. He raised his arm. The gauntlet pulsed, but not as before. No harsh energy, no threat, only resonance. A song of hope. I call upon every voice not yet silenced, every oath not yet broken. Stand, not for me, for each other. And one by one they did, fists raised, banners torn, but lifted anew. A murmur swelled into a roar. Below the city, in the deepest tunnels, Viramitra gazed into the Axis mirror. Around him the air shimmered with futures waiting to be written. He smiled. Let them rise, he whispered. The Axis demands sacrifice.